We're not paying for the lighting structure itself, but we are paying for the lighting. The use of the lighting. Because if I'm correct, even when the light pole is out, you still pay for the use of the light while it's out.
But it's no area, but the private drive area are assessed for street lighting because the number of persons in all the other precincts are below the poverty level.
That's a heavy statement.
So just to get clarification, because I think I kind of have the same question as you. The lighting, like I was asking earlier, as far as the, I have 3 street lights. For instance, I'm supposed to have 3 street lights on my street. So it's not assessed towards the person who has the pole physically located in their yard. It's assessed to everybody
in that precinct.
In that precinct.
But nobody, just about nobody in East Cleveland has that property assessment attached to their taxes because that entire section is deemed to be too poor.
Right. I understand better. Thank you very much for that. And that leads me to my next statement. My question is, I come to these meetings and I always wonder, because we talk about these things, how to acquire monies to cover, expenses. But I don't really hear much about what can be done to educate, train, and figure out some kind of way for the residents to get more income so that they can take care of more of the things that happen, with their properties. And if there are programs in place, they have organizations. I understand that this is a MyCom city. Like, there are a lot of different organizations that come through this city hall. So what I'm trying to figure out is, like, is there anything actively in place to uplift the residents themselves, to put them in a better position so that they don't have to worry about these different bills and assessments or losing their properties or board ups or foreclosures or violations? Or
I do know that we do have a program in community development, if I'm correct, where if you qualify, they'll help with electrical, also with painting or I believe roofing.
The home program?
Yeah, the home program.
And then the emergency repair program?
But from my understanding, those programs are like hundreds of people on the list.
Way long time, yeah.
So that is not, and in the programs, those types of programs, even though they're in place, you help me with my electrical. I still need to earn a living for myself. And sometimes these people don't really know how to make that step forward and get to that point and stay there. So that's what I'm saying.
I mean, like work study programs or job training programs or something like that.
Even though there may not be very many sources of employment here in East Cleveland, there are definitely some, throughout the county. So I'm just wondering, is there anything in place, to help the residents kind of, live better instead of adding on bills to their
I think that they're trying to bring in businesses and entrepreneurships and jobs through various programs. If they bring in the right kind of businesses and bring in the right kind of entrepreneurs, I think through that mechanism is a way to bring jobs to the city residents, as well as, through the education programs, preparing the youngsters so that they can be better able to earn living.
Right. What are some of those programs?
That's the reason why we started off earlier in our term trying to build a relationship with the schools, so we can create programs, educational programs, teach and train and trades and so forth, so people can have another opportunity to get employment.
Firefighters program and the criminal justice program.
I think that maybe with the onset of the Salvation Army coming to completion, that maybe we could find out what kind of programs that they will be offering our residents, as well as possible employment there at the center, and how they'll handle East Cleveland residents versus outside, people that aren't in the city. So I think that hopefully, I don't know what all programs, because I haven't gone on the website.
The city will have an economic development director. The economic development director was really focusing in on that question, on trying how to revitalize the people and create jobs, because that income becomes a tax base for us as well, for the city, to help us sustain the services. So it's imperative that
And
we do
eliminate
something.
some of the blight.
Right.
Right. The other thing, I know, I'm sorry, but my question part is, that's only taking up my 3 minutes, right? Okay. All right. And the other one is this Andre Hendricks. I was wondering if anybody had maybe spoken to him about his long-term goals. Because if he's working on, I think it's a great thing what he's doing, first of all. I don't think it should be, downplay. I think it's great. Because we do need that. That's business. It's coming to the city, and it's not very often that you see people that look like us starting something like that. So what I'm asking is if you guys have maybe talked to him about a long-term goal, because I don't know if that residential property is going to work very long. I hope that his business grows, and I don't really see how he'll have the space to grow grapes in a residential area. But I do think that should be encouraged. That's just a statement, and I think that maybe, we have so much property here that maybe that's something we can look into and maybe speak with him, more on a long-term economical goal and see what can be worked out. But the last thing I wanted to know is about the property on Rosedale, 1776. That property is not on the agenda today. That property, it got torn down this morning. It actually was just on Sarver's list to be sold. This property is ready. Somebody could have came in, bought this property, and moved right into it. It is now no longer. And I'm not understanding how that happened.
You saying the property was
Torn down, demolished,
yeah,
gone.
but you saying the property was valuable?
Very much so.
On the outside, I don't know about the inside, but I'm pretty sure because the residents that live there have been there for years, but I don't.
Just like Mr. Holbeck was here a few days ago about the property on Farmington. He tore that down. What's bothering me is,
They don't care.
aren't they supposed to come through us?
Hold on, before we jump.
No, I'm just
Jump off.
anything.
He asked a question, you responded.
So before we jump off the cliff, let's find out who owns these things because they may have been privately torn down. We're not sure.
Well, I actually saw.
My thing is, if
What's
they're
the
tearing
address?
down properties, we should know.
Yeah.
We should know, not after the property's torn down.
I just called we just called Solandra about a week ago to find out a list of demolitions. Solandra said she had to contact the county because it's coming through the county, and we'll get a list of that so we'll have it, so we'll know in advance. So when people ask us on that street, we'll know it because
The MVI talked to you today. The individual that tore that down, when I spoke with him, stated that it's from the county. It was listed in the county, so that's where he.
When we talked with Gus and them, we asked them
Which is weird, hard to believe.
to come to us about when they're tearing these properties down to let us know. Not after the property's torn down, to let us know.
We're trying to get like a schedule.
Right.
We do
Because
need to have a schedule so we can be informed.
Can I ask a question now?
hold on 1 second. So, but how do we?
Hold on.
What do we need to do to get a schedule?
we got to call in and we're waiting for a response. So if we don't get tomorrow, we'll follow up again.
It was very